What up? It's your boy Morpho Beats. How y'all doing today? Today is another episode of the Showlab Producer Podcast. Um, Appreciate everybody that checked out the last one that I did with my son, Kid Litro. It was truly a blessing. The response was great, and I'm glad y'all enjoyed it. Today I'm doing something else special. Something, someone. Today is a special day. I have the privilege and the honor to have my wife Damaris on the podcast. We have been married for 21 years come November, and she has been my everything besides Jesus Christ. She is my friend, my best friend, my baby mama, my grandmas, my grandsons, grandmama, all those things. She has been my biggest supporter. Matter of fact, she bought me my first real drum machine when I first started. I had a drum machine prior to that, but she bought me my real production drum machine. She bought me a RMX, a RM1, a Yamaha RM1 machine. And man, she been so many things I can say about her. You know, she is a Proverbs 31 woman, and I am grateful for her. And I would just like to welcome my wife Damaris to the show. How you doing, babe?
I'm doing all right, babe.
All right.
Glad to be here.
Yeah.
It's an honor to finally be a guest on the Show Lab. Just kidding.
Oh Lord, I've been trying to get her on, and she's been running from it. I was surprised she even said she would do it this time. Uh, but I appreciate you coming on. Um, I know I did an introduction of you, but why don't you tell the people that may be watching who you are and what you do before we get into this talk.
Okay. Well, I think the introduction was good. I'm your wife.
Hmm.
I'm your bestie, your only bestie.
She is my only friend.
That's the shame, but
It
it is
is.
the
I hate to
truth.
say it, but yes, she
No, I
is.
don't think he really hates to say it. He's okay with it. But
Oh man.
yeah. I am a mother. We have, I always forget, it's so many kids. We have seven
Seven
kids.
kids.
We have six boys, um, and one daughter.
Hmm.
Um, I've been a single mother before. You know, I am. I'm gonna put it like this: Who I am, I love the Lord. I
Hmm.
want to be the Holy Spirit's bestest friend. I'm
Hmm.
trying to do that as much as I can. And I do ministry in every aspect you could think of. I have a heart for serving God in ministry. I think that would be my, if you say who I am.
Hmm.
I've done youth ministry with my husband for over 20 years. Recently stepped back from youth ministry. I'm the administrator of our small Christian school here at Smoking for
Woo,
Jesus
woo, woo.
Ministry Christian School. Let's go
Oh,
Eagles!
that's right. Eagles.
And
Fly high.
yes, and I am a worship leader. Been doing that just as long as I have been saved.
Hmm.
So that's also been about 22 years or so, 23 years. And yeah, those are the main things that I do besides just really wanting to, offer my services and help in any kind of way that I can, whatever way that I can further the kingdom of God. I'm always, looking to be able to do that.
Yeah. Mm.
So,
Uh, which and what she forgot. Well, I guess she's. I guess that's what she does. She do now. But
hmm
my wife, she is a worship leader, but she's a singer, rapper,
oh yeah.
writer.
hmm
You know.
hmm
And that's what the connection that we had.
Yeah.
Just to kind of give y'all the background how we got together. We both started, in ministry together.
hmm
We were in a rap group by the name of Sound Minds
hmm
Ministries. Sound Minds Music.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife, she was an artist, but she did a lot of the leg work,
Administrative.
administrating, booking events and stuff. And then we had another friend of ours, Johnny, which was our best friend, was my best man in
Mm-hmm.
our wedding, and a good friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny was the actual leader, and I was the producer and recording
Mm-hmm.
engineer. So uh, between us three, we were like the three musketeers. We was the ones that was kind of keeping the wheels going.
Mm-hmm.
The group Sound Minds was about 15 of us.
Yeah, it was a lot of
Yeah,
us.
it was a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
we had a lot of responsibility. So we spent a lot of time, and at that time she was just Sister Damaris. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't nothing attached to it. Matter of fact, I was married prior to my wife, and I was going through separation and got divorced. And at that time, my wife she was just a good friend. Between her and Johnny, they were the ones that, hey, when it was hard, I would just say, hey man, y'all keep me in prayer. It was very, I don't know if platonic is the right word.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. Mm-hmm.
It's not.
Mm-mm.
Okay, what it means is, well, we were just friends, and it wasn't nothing attached to that. Is that a word for that?
Yeah, I can't think of it right now, but
Okay.
that was good how you said we were just friends.
Yeah, we were just
We
friends.
was-
You know what I'm saying? Nothing
Mhm.
to that. Um, and through that, we just built a good friendship. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Mhm.
Almost maybe 2-3 years prior to us actually believing God was calling us to marry one another. So
Mhm.
we had built a firm foundation of friendship
Yeah.
prior to that, and then one side I got divorced. It was like after I got divorced, I was like, you know what? I'm cool with being married. I'm gonna take care of my children.
Being
I'm
single.
being single. Yeah, being single. I said I'm gonna take care of my chin, and I'm gonna do this thing with the Lord. Gonna be me and the Lord. But I guess the Lord had other plans,
Mhm.
because then I started. God had started speaking to me about my wife,
Mhm.
and now I will say this: I wouldn't have thought that she would have been my wife, because in our characters, or I guess in our personalities, are totally different.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? She's very forthcoming and, ready to do it, ready to go for whatever. And I'm pretty chill, so I couldn't see myself. But I guess that's just how God worked, man. In 21 years, we still in love with one another. Really in love. Not just saying I love her, but truly in
Mhm.
love. We're good friends. And, that's how we started out. But it was the music that drew us.
Yeah.
I do, in this season in our lives, we know we do believe that God is transitioning us to other things. My wife is my wife is called to the prophetic, something that God is pressing on her and transitioning her into, and I do believe God is calling me more into a greater evangelistic way. But it was the music that was for the lack of better words, the plug.
Mhm.
That
Mhm.
it was the start moving that way. It is very, it's very, it's very a fate walk, because you don't see what's down the road, but we just going we are walking this walk together
Mhm.
as God lead and guide us.
Mhm.
So I wanted to do this episode. I want to do this today. Something I have been wanting to do for a while. Just I want to bring my wife on because, for y'all that know, I am a music producer, and I thought it would be great to hear what has it been like for her as me being a producer. Um, I would say that, you know, from my point of view, uh, I've been doing music. I've been producing for almost 22 years, and um, that has been a lot of sacrificing that I think that my wife has had to make in regards to me doing music. Um, a lot of adjustments. I know in the beginning it was very hard, but and then as time went on, it kind of smooth. Yeah, I think it kind of smoothed out.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I think when she realized. and I don't want to put words in her mouth. So I'm gonna let her speak on that. But from my point of view, I think when she realized this is something serious, I think she gave me the grace to do it. I don't know. I don't want to put words in her mouth, but I want to be able to just bring her on because she have her thoughts about it. And so with that being said, babe, um, as a wife of a producer, what has the journey looked like for you? And I know that's abroad, but just kind of and walk it through, and we are kind of fill in the blanks.
Well, I think I would first correct the statement of once I realized it was serious, because for me, I always felt like it was serious. I always felt like, and I think you can testify to that. If I feel like something is worth it, we're gonna invest in it.
Yeah,
So even when
yeah,
we first, when you first started doing the beats, and I started learning, about what a drum machine was and what you needed to do.
hmm
In a lot of cases, you always the type of person to just work with what I have, and I'm gonna work with it until it fall to pieces.
yeah,
And I look at it like, no, baby, this is what you need to do. Let's get what's gonna work. Let's get
yeah,
what's gonna get the job done. And so and so that's the way I've always felt about it. I knew that you were talented. I knew
hmm
that you definitely, God had given you the gift for it. So um and I know that God can do, wants to do, has done, and has much more to do great things with it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, this is, who you are, who you made to be. So for me as a wife, I'm like, I want us to invest whatever we have to invest in what you're doing. So it's never been an issue of whether or not I felt like it was serious.
hmm
Um, it's never been an issue of how much money you've needed to spend,
yeah,
on equipment, which you need to get. I even, like I said, I always feel like, you know, um, get the best stuff
yeah,
that's gonna do the work.
yeah,
Don't get the little rinky dink stuff that's gonna have you, every few months investing more and more and more and not getting the best quality that you can get.
yeah,
Um, I think that it was rocky for us in the beginning.
hmm
Um, Mostly for me, of us being a new couple,
yeah,
we're trying to get to know each other and stuff. So for me, it was like you had no chill. You know what I'm saying? It's like, especially once we after Katrina and we moved to the Vistas, um, we had two closets in our bedroom. We had a walk-in closet, and we had a little small closet, and
what?
so we were like in our bedroom. So I was like, I'll take the small closet so he can have the walk-in closet and let that be his studio.
Yeah,
And again, it was always important to make sure he had what he needed
yeah,
for this. But when I tell you, he would have that little closet rocking all night long if he could, every day, all night long. He just had no chill. And I think that that for me, that was hard because I felt like you needed to know how to balance.
yeah,
And that was something that we worked on for a long time.
yes,
I will say that it started getting better quick. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I don't think it was like something that we really fought
Fault,
about.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? It was kind of like if I said, you're spending too much time doing that, you're not focusing, you got to balance out. Even if you didn't necessarily
agree,
agree,
yeah,
you've always been the type to kind of just like, okay, um, let me. I felt like you felt like our marriage and our family was important enough for you to make adjustments.
yeah,
If it's like you kind of was letting us be the gauge.
yeah.
If they good with it, I'm good with it.
Hey, if they in the room
You know what I'm
chilling, if
saying?
they, if
They ain't
they
got no
sleep,
problem
if
with
they
it.
gone, ooh,
Yeah. If they don't
yeah,
have no problem with it, and long as she ain't complaining, I must be good. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But then if I start, saying, hey, babe, you need to, you're doing it a bit much now. You need
yeah,
to, then I do see when you kind of check yourself on it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of been that balance, throughout the years. I think it still is that balance. I think
Yeah, it
that,
is.
these days, if you, you know, get a bug in you, you know what I'm saying, about anything, that's something that I've noticed about you, just period, with life. If you get a burden on you about anything, you're going to stay at it until it's done.
Yeah.
And sometimes that means 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
If
If
you
we're
allow
gonna
it.
if we're allowed, you know what I'm saying.
Shoot.
But I will also say that I've kind of felt like, you know, because we have um, perfected the balance. Say
Yeah.
perfected
Yeah.
for a
Lack of
a
better
letter
word.
back lack of better
Yeah.
words, but because we have, you know, been able to develop this a much healthier balance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. When you get that bug in your back, I will give you. I'm saying not battery in the back, a bug in the back, because it's like the thing is bothering him until he gets it
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when he does that, I am okay with giving you that leeway
Yeah.
for a few days.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? To get it done, because I know that once you get it out the way, we can get back to our balance.
Yeah. And I appreciate that, we it always we I guess we always had these come to Jesus conviction, like, hold on, okay, bruh. You know what I'm saying? And then there have been times where you were like, okay, baby, you need to come on back to real life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I would say this. I was just thinking about when we was on Beekman Street and we first got together, and you would be talking about you in there with your girlfriend. And I'd be like, girl, you met me as a producer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then, it was like, man, look, when we got married, I was a producer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, because when we on Beekman, we had that third bedroom, right?
Yeah.
Was that your space? That's what I've
Yeah.
been trying to picture.
Yep.
What was the space
The
there?
space.
Yeah, we had
That
that
was-
third bedroom.
We had
and
that third
was,
bedroom, and then and that's I think out of all of the hardest time, all of the bump ins and the run ins, it was that because we was freshly newly married.
Yeah.
And
I think the Vista was the worst.
You think so?
Yes, because the Vistas was when I was about to take the drum.
Oh no!
And
That
threw
was
it out of the house.
no, that was the Blue House.
No, that was the Vistas.
Girl.
I remember.
Oh Lord.
That was the Vistas.
Ooh, Lord, Lord. Yeah, she was about to throw my machines
'Cause
away.
She was doing the most.
And I said, man, oh Lord.
It was like, oh, you really going far. And that's when I realized how much he actually loved. No, I'm just kidding.
Man, Lord
But-
have mercy. Yeah. Thank God for grace and mercy.
I'm glad though, because I'm glad that, I wasn't able to go far with that. I think I would have felt really, really
Yeah.
horrible, if I
Yeah.
would have actually broken up any of that
Yeah,
stuff.
quit me. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, sometimes you get into these places in these emotional spaces where you don't think about what's really important.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I would have to say that that's always been important to me, that you're able to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know that regardless of all the jobs that you had, everything that you had to do to pay rent, this is what you was made to do. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
for me, I love seeing you in the space of doing what you're made to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know you got to work. You know what I'm saying? I know you have to do other things to take care of the house, and I appreciate that and everything. But, I like seeing you in that space.
Yeah. And you always have. One thing about my wife, and man, and I don't say this lightly at all, but she is my biggest fan. She believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. You know what I'm saying? When I didn't even think that I had the ability to really go far as a Christian hip hop music producer, um, and you know, I as a you know, I'm thinking of I'm thinking about how I started out in the beginning, but then how you know when we as we continue to grow, she would just be pushing me and pushing me and stuff. I definitely wouldn't have even did no out of town trips if my wife wouldn't have been like, hey, you need to go make this trip. Especially once I started to really start to get some traction, I would go out to so they would have different events, the Dove Awards and the GMAs and stuff, and in Nashville, and big events in Florida, Flavor Fest, and but I wasn't necessarily pushing me like I need to go. No, she would be the one. Hey, no, you need to make that trip.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Because
saying?
if what it would be like is like if you wanted to go, if you had to weigh that between I need to work and I need to pay these bills and I need to make sure y'all straight, then that's gonna go on the back burner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like kind of like it's almost my job to be like, nah, you know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
got to do this. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because I think we do that a lot. You know what I'm saying? We can get so focused on just the everyday stuff,
Yeah.
and we never understand the importance of investing in what we actually want our life to end up at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where you want to end at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Do you want to end at such and such pharmacy? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is that where we ending at? That's not where we ending.
Yeah. Am I gonna retire
Is that where you going
as a driver?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we're not doing that. So, and that's why I'm like, and I think you need to get back to it.
Yeah.
I think that you need to get back to it. I think that you need to get back to doing more connecting, doing more traveling.
Yeah.
Just going where you need to go to make music happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree. Especially in the space that we're in now, our kids are our kids are grown. Well, we still got bubs.
We got one more.
One more.
One more year of Christian school tuition.
Shabaka.
Hey, bye-bye.
Yo.
Thank you.
He'll be 17 in about 2 weeks.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, but all of our kids are grown, and he's a young man. So we in a space where, our family is only person that's demanding on me, if I can say that, is my wife, and we demanding for one another. So, and it ain't we in a space where, if she needs to go somewhere, okay, fine, you go ahead and go. You know what I'm saying? And we just in a different season too, where it's not, we still got bills and stuff, but we just in a better place. Glory be to God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To be able to maneuver and do some things, but
Yeah. I think that comes with life.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because, and I guess even for any of those producers and wives who still have kids that they're raising,
yeah,
just don't forget that life is going to happen. So
Yeah.
eventually those kids are going to get grown,
Yeah.
and they're going to be less responsibility, and you'll be able to do even more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Do as much as you can
Right.
with them,
Right.
because I think it's important for our kids to see us pursuing what we call to do
Yeah.
while
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
growing up. It's important for them to see that as well.
Right.
But, life happens, and
Right.
it's not going to always be as tight.
Yeah.
And, but,
Right.
and you'll be able to do more.
Right. And I think our kids have seen us, pursue.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, even for me as a producer, and not just as me, but my wife had an album, her album Let Go, which is on all digital platforms right now. That album did well. You know what I'm saying? And how can I say this without trying to be not being prideful? We have been able to establish ourselves as musicians in the space where when we go places, people know us and stuff. Our kids have seen that. Our son is reaping the benefits of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right now, you know what I'm saying? Myron, he contrary to his belief, you know what I'm saying? He's reaping the benefits of where he is transitioning and making connections and stuff. So I do think we have did a job of seeing our kids. I think our kids have also seen where we sacrificed, you know what I'm saying, and then do things to So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I had the thought. Come on, bring that thought back to me, Lord. What was the question? What was the? I was just about to ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I forgot.
Well, I got a story to tell
Okay, go ahead and tell your story. I'm gonna think about it.
because
Yeah.
I was just thinking about, just like seeing you when I was talking about seeing you in that space,
Mm-hmm.
doing what I know you love. This
Mm-hmm.
morning we were in church,
Mm-hmm.
and usually before church, before we start the worship, they'll have a like a worship video playing,
Mm-hmm.
and so we were standing over in a corner of the praise team, and we're praying in the spirit and just trying to get ourselves ready to go up. But from where we're standing like right, across from the sound booth. So I got where I'm standing, I got a direct sight of my husband while he's in the sound booth. And so they're playing this worship song, and I believe it was Travis Green, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of tease my husband sometimes, because you ain't gonna really see him bucking too much on no worship music.
Oh,
You
that's
know what I'm
cold.
saying? It's like, he gonna throw his hand up a little bit, acknowledge God and stuff like that. And even when he has his time, he does worship. But it's not like if that's his choice, he's not putting it on.
Yeah.
But anyway, there was this video, I believe it was Travis Green, but on a
Mm-hmm.
certain part of the song, the
Oh,
guy sings on a talk box,
on a vocoder.
on a vocoder,
Oh
whatever you
my
call it.
gosh, I
But
was
I
like,
tell you, I sat there the whole time and watched you smile
really,
and with delight. I said,
man.
boy, I wish I had a camera because it was like that just lit up your morning.
It, girl, baby, girl, it did something to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Man, listen, I ain't gonna lie.
So shout out to Travis Green and
Man,
whatever song. I cannot remember the name of
oh
that
my
song on that
gosh,
album, but that album is really
I got to ask
so good.
Christine with the.
I don't know if that was Travis
No,
Green
it
or was
wasn't.
that
That was somebody. It wasn't Travis
that
Green.
was your boy who sang Ty Gilbert.
Ty
I
Gilbert.
think that was Ty Gilbert.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think it was
yeah.
Ty Gilbert. But anyway, we'll find out what the song was and
Man,
let y'all
I ain't
know.
gonna
So,
lie, man. I just, man, I just thought that was so creative. You know what I'm saying? That this at this part of the particular song, this brother was singing worship with this vocoder, and
Yeah.
it just did something to
Yeah.
my heart, man. I was like, oh my God, this sounds so beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
and to the normal person, I'm not the normal person, but to somebody else who's listening to it, all we hear is
Man, I was.
and he's like, he was so delighted, and I was like, well, I wish I had my camera because I would have took
Yeah,
a picture of
yeah.
you.
It was just, I think it was just that that they was using a vocoder
Yeah.
in praise and worship
Mhm.
at the part of that song, and this brother he was playing it, y'all. I'm
Yeah,
telling you,
he
I was
did.
just so in awe.
Yeah.
You know, I could literally take that piece of the song out and just make a loop of it
Mhm.
and just play it over and over. I think I'm gonna do that. Make a loop of that
Right.
part because I was just outdone.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, so we I still can't remember my thought, but I'm gonna come back to it. Well, let's move on. So now that we on this journey of getting it going and moving on and stuff, I want to talk about when we went to Buford. I talked about Preston and Keisha.
Hmm.
You know, I think that was
It's been a long time.
yeah, that's a long time, but that was like one of those pivotal moments in our lives too.
Mhm.
You know, and that was probably the first trip that you said, "Hey, we need to make that,"
Mhm.
because Preston and them had put that event together with
Yeah.
Cross Movement,
Mhm.
and that's when I got a chance to meet a lot of the Cross Movement artists. I met Jr. I met Flame. I gave all them dudes BCDs, and they was like, "I'm gonna check them out," blah blah blah. And I think too, when we went there, I think the experience. Well, shout out to my homeboy Preston, man.
Yeah.
Preston Thompson and his wife Keisha. Preston, he said, "Man, I think you need to come out here, bro. You need to come out here." And me and Preston, we met via MySpace because we started making music and stuff together. and we just built a good friendship.
Right.
And he was like, "Man, you need to come out here. This is a good
Yeah.
opportunity." And when I told you about it, you was like, "Yeah, we need to go."
Let's
I
go.
think that might have been our first time on the plane together.
Yeah, we got. I
Yeah,
don't
because
know.
I think when we go on vacation, we used to drive
We
all the
always
time.
drive. I don't remember, but I know we got that. We have that picture up in here somewhere. The picture
When
that
you
we
had,
took at the
yeah,
concert, and I had the little.
you had
Keisha had did my dyed my hair for
oh
me.
yeah, when you had the little fro.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I
But I
remember
think too, we also on that trip didn't we go to like a school? He did something at a school
yes,
that
yeah,
morning.
yeah,
Where he went and spoke to some kids
yeah.
and
We sure
everything.
did.
And
Yeah.
then that night we or that one day those evening that's when the concert was.
Well, yeah.
And you meet R Swift too at that
I
time.
met I met Swift. I met Israel, Mac the Doulos, Everyday the group Everyday Process, Flame. Everybody was there. All of the cross movement artists was there. That's when cross movement was, still on and popping.
Yeah.
But I do remember, getting through the concert and all that stuff, and we went to the Waffle House afterwards.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it was something that Waffle House is what it was. That Waffle House was pivotal. It was pivotal.
Pivotal.
Pivotal. My wife a teacher, so she gonna probably be correcting me a whole bunch through this. But I remember, I had passed out BCDs and stuff to all of them, and you kind of just hoping, please listen to the CD, please. And I remember Vernon, DJ Jesus Beats, shout out to DJ Jesus Beats. He actually had stole the CD from Preston house. He stole my BCD from Preston house, but that's the best thing he could have ever did is steal the CD. And he was bumping the beat tape on the way to the Waffle House. And we had already been inside, but and Vernon was behind us, but Preston, you had Israel and Swift, all of them were getting out the car at the same time too. And they was like, "Yo, who made them beats?" He was like, "Man, Marv, he made them." And man, they came in that Waffle House and it was like, "Yo, man, let me get your number. Man, we need to get you on the project." And man, we was just like, I was just like, man,
If you would have never gone.
if I would have never went, I was just like, man, oh man, this is really happening. And then I can remember, you get all the information numbers and stuff. I can remember on our way home, I remember telling my wife, I said, "Baby," I said, "I might need to quit this job if this thing become a full-time gig." And we was like, okay, well, if it's God, we gonna pray. And you can't do nothing to get yourself fired. You can't intentionally do anything to get yourself fired. And we said, okay. So we was praying, and I just went back to work the next Monday. I was driving trucks for Champion Site Prep. And my job was about an hour and a half away. Drove there every day for about a year. And I remember I was on the job site because they would do the streets for different restaurants and all this stuff. So I was on the job site, and I was getting ready to go to another job site but I was driving a water truck, and as I backed up, as I was going forward, I hit a brand new fire hydrant and bent it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't bent it much, but I didn't bend it a whole bunch, but I bent it. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, okay, man, you got to go take a drug test, blah, blah, blah. Did that. Went back to the job site, and my boss, he's Harley. He said, "Man, Marvin, man, I'm going to have to let you go." He says, "Out of our hands." He said, "I tried to talk to the bosses, but the boss said you had to go." And immediately, that's when I knew this was the Lord, because I wasn't trying to hit no water hydrant.
Right.
And my wife, she was at school, and I called her. She was like, "Hey, I'm at school." I said, "Hey, I just got fired." And I think my wife said, "Praise the Lord," and hung up. I gotta go. And that's what started the journey, as I was able to do music as a full-time job during that time. And but I say all that to say, just having somebody to even to give you the courage, because this is what I want to say. I don't think none of this would have been possible had my wife had my wife not been in agreement with it. That's what my thought was. Like, for me to even be able to do the music and go out of town, and if she'd have had any issues and this would become a problem, I don't think I would be here today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I know there's, some dudes that go through that. You know what I'm saying? And this is not just for this is just not for producers, but this is for artists, for anything. You know what I'm saying? There's no way in the world that none of this would have been possible if my wife wasn't in agreement. So that was a number one confirmation for me that my wife was able to roll with it, and she wasn't gonna be stressed. I'm not saying that she didn't have no stressful time, because the fact, me doing the music or not, I had to be able to figure out a way how to make money with the music.
Yeah.
So she wasn't walking around, not, she wasn't stressing me, but our kids wasn't poor neither. I mean, we wasn't poor, you know what I'm saying? So I had to make this work. She believed in me enough to say, okay, I believe in you, but we got to make it work. So that's what I want to say. And I think I appreciate that so much, baby, because I know even today, if you wouldn't have been in agreement or, with me doing this, knowing that, it gives a lot.
Right.
It's no way possible. Yeah. So I appreciate that. That's what I wanted to say, that. And that's how you're gonna know if that's a sign of if this is gonna be one of the signs that you know it's God. For those that are married. That if this is something that if this is the season for you to do something, your wife got to be okay with it. At least that's how it was for me. That was one of my gauges, because there's no way in the world I was going to be able to continue on and she wasn't. And not because she would be mad, because I just was like, I had enough sense to know, and keep in mind, we had already had friendship prior to that. So I didn't want to even jeopardize, what I want to put my dreams and stuff over my wife, nor my family, nor my kids. You know what I'm saying? So I do appreciate that.
I think that's what's important. Something that's important, even with that, like you said, we would have to be in agreement, and that's so important for everything to flow well. Two keys, I would say. One, like I was saying earlier, wives, we have to look, let God show us, or whatever it takes, to see your husband in his happy place, in his happy space, and enjoy seeing him there, and know that it's a need for them to be actually all that God called them to be. It's a need for them to be able to be the best man that they can be, the best spouse that they can be, the best partner, the best friend. But they need to be able to have, that they need to be able to have that area that makes them, feel like they're doing what they're called to do. Or feel like they're doing what they're made to do. And then I think the other thing is, and sometimes I may have told you this before in arguments or whatever, but I just always had this feeling like my husband is not my source. Like God is the source. And I think that's important, because when I make you the source, that means that when we're lacking, or if anything is out of place, then I'm going to put all that pressure on you to handle business. You know what I'm saying? And which, don't get me wrong, you know what I'm saying? We have to allow them to carry their load. We have to allow them to carry their responsibility. His responsibility is not my responsibility.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm not going to allow it to get me into a place where I am being a burden now, because I'm relying on him to be the ultimate source.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? God is the ultimate source.
Right.
So if I'm afraid that something's not going to get taken care of, then I need to pray that God give you the wisdom that you need. God bring us the funds that we need, all of those different things, you know what I'm saying? And I think that just goes all around with everything, in any relationship. Like, nobody the other person is not your source. You're not my source of happiness.
Yeah.
You're not my source of wholeness. You're not my source of fulfillment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. And when we can release that
Mm-hmm.
from each other, then we're able to walk with one another. We're able to push one another to be the best that we're called to be. We're able to watch each other flow in our different, metrons, whatever it is that God have for,
Mm-hmm.
that person or whatever. And I think, I just think that's important. If a lot of, young women, young wives, I want to lay that, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Lay that at your feet. You know what I'm saying? That is a undue burden that you put on your husband,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, to be your source of any of that,
Yeah.
and so with that, you can watch them fly and be all that they call it to be. And I think that a happy and fulfilled man, I feel like I have benefited because
Mm-hmm.
I have to honestly say that there is nothing that I could ask for that I know he wouldn't flip the world upside down to give it to me.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
And I think, and I think because you have always been that type of wife and type of woman, it always made me want to, man, I, my wife. I don't want to say she's low maintenance. She's not. Because I mean, when she wants something, she wants something. But it drives me to want to do it because she doesn't press. She's not like, I need this and I need it. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? And it makes me want to give her the world because she doesn't have to trying to keep up with the Jones mentality. She doesn't have those tendencies, which just makes me want to give her more. You know what I'm saying? And when it's something that she wants, man, I'm gonna try to flip the world upside down because she don't ask for a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I thank the Lord for that. Really good.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. So let's flip it up for a minute. What have been, for the lack of better words, maybe some of my downfalls or flaws when it comes to? I know we talked about balance. What has been something that may have been frustrating to you that in this whole journey as a musician? What has been, I don't want to say frustrating, but maybe a challenge or something that you be like, okay, well, I'm gonna just have to trust God with this because he ain't changing right now. He not, I'm trying to just make sense. Did that make sense to you? What can you think of some things that may have? Let me take a deep breath on this. And listen, y'all. I just want my wife to be transparent and say it because, to speak our heart, because I know that hopefully this would encourage other, you know, husband and wives that are may have business and stuff going on and just need to be able to know how to maneuver through it. So, I wanted to just speak our heart on it.
I don't know. I don't want to come across as if like I don't worry about nothing.
Yeah.
um, uh, I would say that I don't worry about it. I don't. Besides some of the challenge that we spoke about before, um, being able to balance things out. That was challenging. That was a challenging time that we went through.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I um, also think that I was about to say being able to balance it out. Oh man, I just lost my thought. What I was about to say. Being able to balance it out, balance out the time and stuff. Um, I think that it may have been it's frustrating to me sometimes when I feel like you I think there was like one time maybe when one or two times where I feel like you passed up opportunities or you messed up opportunities because of thinking wrong about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like being prideful or, being like, no, they didn't want rock with me when I was doing this and that, blah blah blah. So nah, I ain't doing it. And I'm like, really? Come on, you messed up you never know what God was trying to do with that.
Yeah.
But as far as the music and stuff goes, as far as like what you do, I don't think that's been an area of frustration too much for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that the biggest struggles would be things outside. So so I guess maybe you could say what I do know is that because the way that you do love music,
Mm-hmm.
I think that you can allow it to zone you out
Yeah.
to the point where you don't focus on other important things outside of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, you have God, my wife, my family, the music, pay my bills. And if it ain't in those four, it's probably it's probably like, not even gonna get much attention. And then that even goes down to like, taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your health and stuff, understanding that you're important. I think that in this last year or so, you really have been focusing on that more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just different areas with your health and,
Yeah.
just doing what you need to do to make sure
Yeah.
that you're okay. But if you were to get off track with something or whatever, I wouldn't know because you ain't gonna tell me. I gotta stay on you with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I tend to. I am being delivered for not being forthcoming in certain areas. You know, I think too. You know, I know a lot of times I be so worried about. I be worried about you not worrying. You know what I'm saying? So if that's something that, if that's thing, well, in the past, because I'm just trying to be delivered. I'm speaking my deliverance. Shoot, if I got a problem, just need to let you know. But there have been times where I'm like, well, man, I don't need to worry about this. So let me just figure it out. But then somehow, some way, I find myself in a jam, and it come out anyway. You know what I'm saying? So. I know there has been a challenge there that I'm working hard to be better in. You said something a few minutes ago. I think we was talking about this a couple of weeks ago too. Like how I was when we was doing the deliverance class, and I was saying, man, I can find there have been times where the music has become an idol. Remember we was talking about that? And and that's a part of that zoning out where this is all I'm seeing and all I'm doing. And for the producers that are, and whatever you're doing, this is for producers. But if you are a clothing designer, or got a clothing business or whatever, you got to make sure you're not allowing this to become an idol.
Yeah.
Where this is all your focal point. Yes, it's your business and you're trying to grow it, but you need balance in that, man. Right. And I was telling my wife, I said there have been times where, and actually just recently, that was almost 2 weeks that I didn't even do any music because I was focusing on, doing video editing. I do editing for my church and stuff. But I mean, almost 2 weeks had passed a couple of weeks ago. Didn't make not one track. I just started getting back in the groove. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I just needed to have a reset. Because it tends to become an idol for me. And that's not good. You know what I'm saying? Which will lead you to zoning out.
So why do you think? What about it makes you want to idolize it? Like, what aspect of doing so much? Is it because you have the joy, or because you need to make the money, or like what do you feel like makes you go to the point of?
I think it's a mixture of it all. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a mixture of, there's a joy that I love making music. There's a mixture of, okay, well, I need to make sure, I got enough money to be able to take care of things. And, I think too, I will say this too. I think sometimes when certain things going on, and we've been having a lot of stuff going on spiritually, you know what I'm saying? It become it can be therapeutic, but that can be too much. What's the word I'm looking for? Excessive. Excessive. So I think, and I can feel myself when I'm going there. So I'm like, okay, right. You need to take a step back.
But I guess my question is, if you realize that idolizing something is putting it in the place of God, how do you think you're doing that?
I think I'm doing that because if I get up first thing in the morning, instead of me, getting in my word or praying, that's the first thing I'm jumping to. I'm jumping to my emails, I got a track that I didn't finish last night, and then I'm jumping right to it. And then before you know it, it's 9, 10 o'clock when now I got to get up and start doing other stuff. And ain't spent that time with God. You know what I'm saying? So, and when I found myself, was doing that, and oh man, it's 11 o'clock. Man, hold on. It had been 2-3 days. And it's 11 o'clock. Hold on, bro. You is tripping. You know what I'm saying, man? Like, so.
I definitely think that you're a male version of Martha.
Martha in the Bible.
Yes.
You got to explain that to the people that may not.
So Martha and her sister Mary, Jesus came to their house. And Martha Mary was at Jesus's feet, and she was just worshiping because she understood she had the master in the house, and it's important right now that I worship and spend this time at the master's feet. And then Martha was more busy with getting the house prepared and, being, hospitable, just getting things done with the work of the ministry. Right. And then she came to Jesus and was like, Jesus, tell my sister that she need to, that she need to get up, all that worshiping. We got stuff to do. And Jesus said to her that Mary has chosen the better thing. I think that's what he said. But we always equate Martha to the one she's the servant type. She's always focused on getting the work done, getting the stuff done. You know what I'm saying? And so when you have that drive, you know what I'm saying? When you wake up in the morning, I'm driven with what needs to be done.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So you tend to kind of put that ahead of spending that time, that worship time and stuff like that, and because, that's just kind of like your personality, you're always doing something. Like even today, I try to make him sit down, and on Sundays, he's not supposed to work on Sundays. And I try to make him sit down, and we'll have dinner, and we'll get on our sofa and watch a movie together.
And fall asleep.
Of course, and as soon as,
girl,
you be knocked out.
No, she be looking over at me talking about you sleep, but then she going to sleep all the while.
Anyway, as soon as he sit down and not doing something, he sleep. And but I'm saying all that to say that all of a sudden he got up and he's in this room. When he come up in his office, I'm like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Because he'll be there found, let me go hurry up and do this real quick. Let me go hurry up and work this real quick. She don't see me come up in here.
She on Instagram. She going to be sending me buku Instagram posts. So she chilling. She occupied.
So anyway, but I know that I know that you have to be watched, because if you're not, you will be working on something.
I will.
You're gonna be working on something.
And I don't feel no type of way about it. See, some dudes will have an issue with, man, you don't tell me what to do. Man, I'm grown.
Yeah, you've been married 21 years.
Yeah, no, I'm okay with not working on Sundays. And if I do, like if I get a customer that need a haircut, I ask my wife, "Hey, babe, you okay with me cutting hair?" Because I know Sundays is a day. Now I know, no, in 2024, dudes may be talking about, "Man, you simping." Man, I've been married 21 years. You can say what you want. I'm a simp. Forget that. Forget you. I'm trying to make it work. You know what I'm saying? But I don't just. Because my wife, she was like, "Hey, baby, I would like for you not to work on Sunday because you need to rest." So if something do come up, "Hey, baby, is it okay? Can I take this client? Whatever." You know what I'm saying? I ask her, you know what I'm saying? Because I know only reason she don't want me to work on Sunday is because she's for my benefit. You know what I'm saying? But, man, I never thought to think of myself as like a Martha. You know what I'm saying? Just, need to get it done. Oh, man.
You're Marvin the. Yes.
And she's married Damaris.
Yeah, I tried.
Damary.
I'm trying to be married.
Yeah, be up 4:00 in the morning, praise music blasted. I get up and go pee, and all you can hear is the music in the other room. I be like, "Oh man, what time it is?" 3:30. Oh Lord.
Gotta get it in.
Yeah.
Holy Ghost said, "Get up." You gotta get up.
Gotta get up. Do you have some proud moments of me? I mean, like you be like,
do you have some proud moments of you? I'm just kidding.
I mean, is there some things you be like, "Dang, man, my husband."
I have a lot of proud moments.
Yeah.
I have a lot of proud moments. I was thinking about one of the first things that attracted me to you was, just like how talented you were. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was kind of like you just was doing what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it was like you was confident. You're confident in the things that you know how to do.
Yeah.
I am proud of you. I'm proud of you because I'm trying to stick to music stuff because it'll be all around, But I definitely was proud when you got your nominations and stuff like that. I'm proud of the skill that you have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I guess I'm not one of these big moment type of people. You know what I'm saying? I kind of really look at, a lot of things. Like I am proud of the fact that my husband's music will stand above the rest because of the craftsmanship. You know what I'm saying? The musicianship in it is like, I already know like if I hear somebody else beat or music or whatever, there's just a certain preciseness and cleanness that you have to everything that you do, and I'm like, yeah, they need to work on their stuff. You know what I'm saying? But man. I've always felt like that. You know what I'm saying? And there's just a excellency and a natural, innate.
Right.
Like, musicality that you just have.
Right.
And you put that in what you do.
Right.
So, I'm proud of that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
No, and the only reason I asked that is because, I don't normally, and I think we was talking about this a while back too, I don't really, I don't want to say appreciate, but I don't never like talk about my wins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, I'm proud of when you were doing those classes for them young kids, online. Remember I think you had a friend who had a music class in Chicago or something.
No, in Detroit.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, to see you like no thing. That's no thing. Yeah. Well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to work with these students. I'm going to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I don't I don't really talk about, a lot of stuff that, I do because I know I can, deep down I can be prideful.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of stuff I won't even mention or even
Mm-hmm.
talk about. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
you know, just as much as you saying that you're proud of me, I go back to this again. A lot of the stuff that I've accomplished, I don't think I would have did it
Mm-hmm.
without you
Mm-hmm.
saying, "Hey, you can do it." Even with the producer conference,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? When
Mm-hmm. Oh
we did
yeah.
the showcase producer
Yeah,
conference,
yeah.
man,
I was very
I,
proud of you for
I
that. Yeah.
and there's nothing. I had an idea. I had the idea. My wife was like, "Okay, well, let's just do it."
Do it, yeah.
But then in my mind, I'm like, "Okay, how we gonna do it?" You know what I'm saying? You know, I
Mm-hmm.
should do this. We did this. We did a producer conference doing the South by Southwest
Mm-hmm.
for like 2 years in a row,
Mm-hmm.
and I had the idea and something I've always wanted to do. And my wife was like, "Okay, what you need to do to try to do it?"
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I just started, you know, reaching out to people. Shout out to DJ Wado
Mm-hmm.
because Wado put me in contact with my boy Frank.
Mm-hmm.
Frank had
The venue.
he had the
Mm-hmm.
venue, he had the Carver Museum. So,
Mm-hmm.
but it was, but just the courage to even, okay, you got an idea,
Mm-hmm.
okay, let's try to see how you can work it. And
Mm-hmm.
man, we was able to do it 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah, it
saying?
was good too.
Yeah, it was
Swing.
good, man. It was, you know, but you know, I can say that's something on my bucket list that I was able to do. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and yeah, I appreciate that,
Yeah.
baby.
I just want to say this though, that you're not done yet.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, you're not done yet. I think there is. I think there's more. I don't know. I feel like God took us through, has been taking us through, and I pray that we're coming to the end of it.
mm-hmm,
You know, this season where it was like He kind of showed us some things that He could do,
yeah,
and then He pulled all the way back on us. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? And but I feel and I know in my spirit that it's not it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like I see, more conferences.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I see you being more involved with educating other producers. I see you involved with um, uh, being able to, and I told you that the other day as well. I see you doing more in bringing up the next generation of producers.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? Actually putting them, giving them a spotlight.
yeah,
Giving
yeah,
them platform with as much as you can, using whatever God has given you on your name
mm-hmm,
to be able to catapult others forward. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? And and I just think that there's so much more to it. I
yeah,
think we come into a time where it's needed and it's going to explode. The need is going to explode.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's what I see is going on.
Wow, wow. I received that. I received that. That's her tapping into her prophetic, yo. She going there for real.
Okay.
Uh, any? Well, I won't say that. Any? Do you have any regrets? I don't think you have any regrets.
I don't have any regrets. I don't have
We,
any regrets.
I think we, for like our dream city. I don't know if that's still our dream city. It may still be because
That's still
if
my dream
if the
city.
opportunity ever comes,
Mhm.
I think we would be able to go. But
Yeah.
we've always said like Nashville would be our dream city.
Yeah.
I think when we went to Nashville, my wife, she when our project was out, she did a that was for the Stellar Awards,
Mhm.
and she did a showcase, a Bobby Jones showcase out there.
Mhm.
And I think during that time, I think that's when we want to walk to the record labels and
Mhm.
tried to leave CDs. They was closed, so we slide the CDs
Mhm.
under the floor on the under the doors and stuff. But we always said like Nashville would be our
Yeah.
dream city.
I think it is, and I think for me, it's mostly because even in the surrounding areas like the suburbs and stuff, it's just beautiful.
It
You know what I'm
is.
saying? It's
It
a
is, man.
beautiful area, and there's a lot of the stuff that we like and have interest in. The music, of course,
Yeah.
that's nearby. Um, but yeah, I really like we were able to go on vacation a couple of times a little bit further away up in that area,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I just want to live here. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like
yeah,
I don't even want to go home.
yeah,
You know.
yeah, 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 yeah. Uh, I you know I in this season that we in, um, I think now it's been a thing of me returning I don't want to say returning the favors, but returning the flipping the hat now.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you're pursuing and seeking God in such a way, I think it's my turn to
I
get
got
behind you.
you.
You know, and that's what I've been trying. That's what I've been pursuing to do. My wife, she's getting more into, like I say, she's called to the prophetic, and she is called to. God is transitioning her into the social media space. So, now I'm like, okay, listen, you got these ideas, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it going. Because my wife, she has a powerful ministry that's being birthed in her, and she has some stuff that needs to be said, and and that's what I want to tell husbands too. You know what I'm saying? That now once you get to a place, man, now it's time to
Yeah.
work together, because God just didn't put us together to, when he said helpmate, both of us are helpmates.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He just didn't say, I'm going to bring Eve along to be your helpmate. You know what I'm saying? No, we supposed to help one another.
Right.
We're supposed to minister to one another.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And my wife has always been there pushing me. So, now it's time that the tables need to turn. So I'm trying to pour whatever resources or whatever I can do into her and motivate. Okay, well, let's do it. Okay, and now one her thing is she's trying to get into the social media space, but she don't like getting behind the camera. So I'm like, okay, no, we got to do it. You know what I'm saying? We got to do it, and that's a part of when the tables turn, fellas. Or there may be some women that may be producers, and your husband has been your backbone. Now it's time to be able to sow and pull into them. You know what I'm saying? Where it's not a one-way street, because God put you together to do ministry, to do work together. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's important to know too. That is okay. Now that you ain't got to a place, now you need to
Yeah.
reciprocate that
Yeah.
back.
Right.
And I think that's where my wife is at. Far as what she believes God is calling her to do, and I think she can do it. I believe she can do it. You know what I'm saying? That's important to do that, and that's how that's supposed to look. That's how them dynamics supposed to go hand in hand. So yeah, babe, if there's anything you would say to the wives or the girlfriends that boyfriends may be producers, what would be some words that you would say to them?
I would say to the girlfriends, don't be giving them none until you gotta edit that.
I ain't gonna edit that.
But
Yeah, that's true though.
that's the
Yeah,
truth.
that's true. Me giving up the
Cause
nook.
I'm telling you, them musicians, they know how to get
Oh,
it out
you
you.
that mean you sent me the other day talking about
But,
your girl saying stay away from the drummers
oh yeah,
and the
yes,
piano players.
yes, them church
They
musicians.
know how to make sounds in all the rooms.
Yes.
Oh, that's cold, man. That is
They
cold.
be making what she said. They be making music in all the rooms. They wrong for
But
that.
they
No,
real.
but they no. You talk about something. No, I ain't going there for that. No. Anyway, I know what you're talking about. But
Lord.
I would just say to the young ladies, you know, main things takeaways from what we talked about already. You know what I'm saying? Your husband is not your source. You know what I'm saying? It's not your source, so therefore you can allow him to do what he needs to do, um, and not put that undue pressure on him to always be trying to be your source for everything else. God is the source.
Yeah.
God is the one who makes us, gives us everything that we need. If I'm lonely, God is my answer. You know what I'm saying? If I feel unfulfilled, God is my answer. if our finances are short, God is the answer.
Yeah.
You know, and I would also say, and I guess if I'm saying what I know about men, a man or husband or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I would say that they need to be able to thrive in what they're made to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you, it's almost like, a plant. You know what I'm saying? Taking care of a plant. If you want that plant to, you don't want it to just live and survive, but you
Right.
want it to be vibrant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You want the leaves to
To be
be,
green.
lush and green.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? If it's a variegated flower, you want that all those beautiful white, streaks to come out of it because it's getting everything that it needs,
Right.
and it's thriving because it's in the right space.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I want my husband to be in the right space, in the
Yeah.
right environment. I want him to thrive as a musician because that's what he's called to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that at the end of the day, I don't want him to get to the end of his life feeling like he didn't do what he was called to do because his only focus was taking care of his family. I think that those can go hand in hand.
Yeah. That's good.
So yeah, I mean that's what I would say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I kind of, sometimes it feels unbelievable, but I'm thankful. You know what I'm saying? We have a happy marriage.
Yeah.
We love each other, and we haven't had struggles in areas that other couples have had struggles in.
Yeah.
But we have our struggles.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
And but I'm thankful for what I have.
Amen. Me too. Me too.
Amen.
I wouldn't ask for anything else. My wife, she used the plant analogy because our foyer is full of plants. If I open this door right now, it almost look like a
But
jungle.
they're beautiful.
They are.
They're
They are.
thriving as the plant that they are supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Each one of them.
Yeah.
You know.
She that's like one of her things. She like her plants, and she'll open the garage and just have like playing in the dirt and stuff. That's her thing. I would say to the men, for the husbands and stuff, and I guess to the boyfriends, don't be trying to get none. To the boyfriends, I concur that message.
Put a ring on it.
Put a ring on it, yeah, man. Stop playing games. Put a ring on it. But to the husbands out there, and it's a challenge. I would, again, you talking about 22, almost 20, 21 years that I've been a producer and we've been married, and I've been a music producer, and the balance has always been the challenge.
Yeah. The balance is the challenge.
The balance is the challenge. You know what I'm saying? And we have to be able to find it. You have to be able to find it. You have to be able to have these come to Jesus convictions in your mind when you got to say, "Hold on, bro. Hold on, girl. You've been in this space too much. You need to back out. You got a whole husband, a whole wife that you need to tend to. Or don't talk about when you got kids now.
Yeah.
When you got kids, you know what I'm saying.
You got to spend time with those kids.
And I can truly say that has always been a struggle for me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying. I won't sit here and say that it hasn't. You know what I'm saying. But if I can tell I'm 47 now. If I could tell the 20, how old was it when we got married? 26, 25, 26?
Yeah.
If I could tell the 26-year-old me something different is, to be able to better balance, focus in on your kids, and everything will fall in place. Because, and I know we're trying to close, but, my kids sacrificed a lot. I sacrificed our kids a lot, you know what I'm saying? Even though our kids played football and we went to all the football games and stuff, but there was still some other stuff that I was missing. And I think that used to be my justification. Yeah. Well, I'm going to make sure we at the games and stuff and that they practice, but still missing other key aspects in their lives. So balance. Got to be the challenge.
The balance is the challenge, and you have to be intentional. You have to be intentional about all of your time.
Jesus.
That's a whole nother talk
podcast.
that we
Yes,
can go
Lord Jesus.
into with these kids,
Oh
man.
man,
You know what I'm
man,
saying? Like,
man. We might
and we
need to
can tell
do
you a lot of stuff
that. We messed up at.
from
Shit.
what not to do.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might need to come back and do a podcast on that because that's real. You know what I'm saying? You know, trying to be a Christian, trying to be a servant of the Lord, trying to be a husband, trying to be a provider.
Balancing work, ministry, you know, your personal call.
Yes.
All of those different things. And, you know, raising a family.
Yeah, Lord.
And all of that stuff. Marriage.
Yes.
Balancing all the hats that you have to wear.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Yes. And the Joker had about 10 hats.
Yeah, and we dropped some of them.
Drop half of them. Oh Lord, I'm laughing, but I guess I'm laughing just to hold back the tears because we felt a lot of pain of that. You know what I'm saying? So that would be my words to the brothers, that to the people that are producers. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to find that balance, y'all. But babe, I thank you. We have been trying to do this for a long time. I want you to know that I love you, girl. You are my everything.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I thank God for you.
I love you too, babe.
I appreciate that. You know, I still, after 21 years, be like, man, Lord, how you just were so good to me. Because I wasn't perfect in my first marriage, made a lot of mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Even though I was trying to be a young Christian, I just didn't have it all. You know what I'm saying? But God sure blessed me with you, girl, and I appreciate you.
Praise God, I'm blessed as well.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
So with all that being said, we're gonna get out of here. But I want to let you guys know that I'm gonna put all my wife's information in the description. In the description, she's starting this ministry. I don't want to say thing. She's starting this ministry called Attentional Tuesdays. She's going to be going live on our Instagram. Baby, explain it to him. Because I don't want to mess it up.
Intentional.
What I said?
Attentional.
Yeah.
Intention. That's just that Memphis. Anyway.
Hater.
But it's called Intentional Talks Tuesday. And basically, I'm just going to get on there, and it's a live teaching. The Lord just giving me some things to share with the body of Christ and anybody else who wants to jump on. But the goal is to help us all to be more intentional about the things that we are doing in our walk with the Lord, the things that God is calling us to do to grow. You know, that's what the theme pretty much is about. We want to be more intentional. We want to put focus on those things. Like, you know, I'm hearing another prophetic word. I heard the Lord say this morning, we need to precision focus. We need to focus in. We need to focus in. Not allow ourselves to be so distracted or not think that things are not important enough for us to give that intentionality to. So, Intentional Talks Tuesday, every Tuesday night, 7:30, IG and YouTube live.
Yeah.
Right.
And well, y'all just come to the intentional Talk Tuesdays on her Instagram and YouTube. I'm gonna put all the information there, and there's a lot more that's gonna go with it because she didn't talk about how she's gonna do the Zoom and stuff. But I'll let her. I'll let her do all that. But just be on the lookout on that and tap in with her, man. And this has been another Showlab Producer Podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, subscribe. If you have any questions that you may have in regards to, you know, what we talked about, leave a comment. We are answered. And I let my wife know if there's some, young ladies that may get on or whatever, or just let her know that there's a comment, and we just dialogue, man, because it is important to be able to be successful with what you're in, but there's a technique to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you
Yeah.
if you're married, that there has to be a jail. There has to be a jail to do it, to get a groove. All right. So please like, share, and subscribe. And man, until next time, grace and
Peace.
peace. All right.